up, guys? It's Chase with Treeline Journal. Here with my buddy Nate. Show yourself, Nate. Climber, actual filmmaker. So we are cruising down to La Pine, Oregon. It's about 30 minutes south of Bend. We're gonna go talk to a dude named Bryan Hamey, who's actually he's a patron of Treeline Journal. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah. But the dude, just kind of like I followed him on Instagram, and there's a deer in the road. And I don't know, he just seemed kind of interesting to me. He's a Budtender down in La Pine, and runs ultras. I don't know a lot about his background, but seemed kind of like a cool dude. Just one of the photos on his Instagram that stood out was he's protesting the BLM stuff in his Kaepernick jersey, with Kaepernick across the chest, and just not holding back. And I don't know, just when I saw that, I was I want to meet this dude. And then in his bio he says, what is it? Cannabis is medicine. And so the goal is to just figure out, or just hear what he has to say, hear a little bit about his story and how he got into running, and just kind of listen in and learn a little bit from this guy. So yeah, we're on our way. Should be there soon.
We're lost.
No, dude, we're good.
We're just 10 minutes early. We're just killing time.
I don't want to be that guy. No. What's up? You ready to do this? 375. Okay. Yeah. Woo. Let's do this.
Reality TV. Let's go.
You need to scare him, dude. Come on. What's happening? How you doing?
Yeah, the 50.
You're right on the river.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty. Sorry, I don't know if you guys want to sit down.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. I gotta get ready for my guys. I got my coffee.
Dude, you are good.
I'm singing.
I guess originally when I've been checking out your Instagram, what stood out, a couple things. I loved that Kaepernick jersey shot.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was rad that you did that. And I swear, I thought the first time I saw that, there was a comment, a really sketchy comment on there, some guy was gonna murder you or something.
Yes.
But then I went and looked at it, and it wasn't there anymore, so I thought maybe the dude erased it or something. And then I saw the cannabis is medicine, and I don't think I've really heard that phrase necessarily. I mean, I'm sure I had, but so it just got me curious about, I don't know, yeah, what your take on cannabis as medicine, what's that about?
Yeah. There's a lot of layers to it, you know. It's taken me a lot of time to decide that that is a statement of fact, and for me, you know, and I still catch myself the taboo, the stigma, you know, growing up, that downloaded into you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't just go away, even with being a user. And
is that kind of home that do you grow up in a home that where pot was
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Same.
That's not you know, Reefer Madness, Richard Nixon, and he put this study out. He said, "Hey, go check it out, scientists." The scientists told him it's actually very medicinal and not a harm to society, and Nixon squashed it. The history of why it became taboo and illegal is crazy. It's wild, selling ounces and ounces and ounces, like, oh, it's Flower Friday, yay, you know, the whole town comes down on Friday.
I mean, now that it's legal, it's just wild, like.
Yeah, it's so natural to me now, especially with bud tending, because Oregon it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
We're swimming in the best weed market in the world, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're, you know, with price and quality and abundance, it's never in the history of time been like this.
How do you compare it to alcohol? So I don't smoke weed, and I mean my experience is like just from high school and college, just like dabbling in it. But I think some, like you mentioned, like stigma and like thinking about it. Like I think about it as similar to alcohol in that it's something that people can use to chill out or enjoy as just like integrated into their lifestyle. And for me, like with drinking, it was always like yeah, I'd always want to like aim for moderation and balance. But I don't know if somebody like you who might have a totally different view of it, where it's like more of like a good thing, or do you still view it as like something that you kind of need to manage?
For me, that's where you do have to be mindful and have intention, and you know, I'm in the beginning stages of, you know, I want this to be a ritual, a practice, a ceremony where I'm using plant medicine and movement outside, like a 1-to-1 ratio, to not be depressed.
Okay.
You know, that for me to not feel bummed out, I have found tools that work for me, and I know that weed is one of them. You know, it's a big one. Like coffee's one too. I like the coffee bean.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as big as my tool of weed and running. You know, but where moderation comes in, that's where I like running, because it feels like a meditation where I can get out of my own way, get out of my head, and if I integrate my practice with marijuana, where I'm tuning in, I'm staying in the moment, I'm checking in. You know, maybe I had a lot of THC and CBD tincture one night because I really wanted a deep rest. I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night. I want to be down. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe in the morning I don't need that half gram joint before my run, because, you know, I'm good, and I'm mindful, and I know what I've had in the past 12 hours, and I've been thinking about it, and like running and trying to get faster and fitter. It's the same mindful practice to me, where I'm like, oh, what did I do yesterday? What did I do this week? What do I have coming up? Do I have a race? You know, do I need to ramp it up, or do I need to chill out to avoid burnout?
What resonates with me, what you said was, I mean, it's like, yeah, we're all trying to, like, you said not depressed, like trying to, you know, you don't want to be depressed.
Yeah.
Like, so who out there is going to tell you, man, you can't be doing that, when, you know, like you're your own person and you're deciding how how you feel. And it does seem kind of crazy that somebody would want to withhold something like that from somebody that is using it to like feel better, feel good, feel like well in life, you know. So maybe like a little bit more specifically about the integration with running.
Sometimes I won't feel like running, or you know, I don't have the juice to get out the door, and that's where I put the intention into the method, the form that I'm getting the cannabis in, and I'm always rotating, whether it's flower or edibles or tincture or vape. Not a lot of flower before running. Consumption during running. Maybe I'll bring my vape pen on a long run for when the negative self-talk starts not at myself, but you know, what am I doing out here? Why? Yeah. That's when, you know, part of my why is voicing my mantras and connecting with this plant that I feel like helps me connect, you know, to what's going around me, what's going on in my body. I'm scanning, I'm feeling niggles and saying, hey, when I get home, need to roll this out, or it tunes in my self-awareness, self-acceptance. You know, it's just like a switch. And moderation, that's what we're talking about. There's a point of diminishing returns, you know, with running, with anything, with weed, of course. And that's where it is scary when you're new, trying it out, because you don't know where that line is. I do now intuitively, and I just go with the flow and trust myself and my gut. I've been reading lately about, you know, the runner's high, and it's crazy how similar it feels, you know, the runner's high with nailing my therapeutic dosing range, you know. And there's all these flavors, all these terpenes, you know. Terpenes are in everything. It's the humulene and hops and beer. It's limonene and lavender. These are the smells, you know. And each cannabis cultivar strain has a percentage of a whole list of terpenes, you know. And they each affect you in a certain way, medicinally. And you know, and then I'm thinking about that. You know, I smoked a super lemon haze. I got this pinene terpene taste. You know, it's logged in there, and then I go on this wood chip trail. I'm gonna show you guys, and it's all wood chips. You know, so there's pinene blasting at me, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
I don't know that most people have that kind of like sensitivity to like just kind of like what you're describing of like being in touch with tastes and smells and your environment and stuff. Do you think that's something that was, I mean, a lot of ultra runners these days, you know, they're mostly, you know, they hear about a race and then they want to like go do the race, you know, and it's kind of like more of a feat of, you know, like water cooler talk, where you just want to do the bucket list thing, and then it probably will be like a great experience, but it's more like goal oriented or whatever. It sounds like you're more experiential, or like trying to tap into like other wavelengths than your average Joe, right? I mean,
I'm curious with the consciousness, and I think ultra running is a psychedelic, for me. That 50 mile, it feels like spiritual experiences at times, and there's highs and lows, peaks and valleys, and there's the self-talk, like, and there's the uncovering of layers, like getting to know yourself, part of what I love about the community is, it's competitive. People aren't there to like giggle around and have a good time. People, they're having it, but dudes are pros, and they've trained their whole lives, and they did insane blocks, and it's all laid out on just one morning. Doesn't matter what anything, and everyone is supportive and saying nice things, and like, hey, there you go. I love the sport aspect of it, the camaraderie, all inclusive, part of what made me get into it was seeing, on my first race was the Mount Ashland hill climb, where you go straight up for 13 miles, and I'd never raced before, and I was, at the end, I was like running, walking, running, like I didn't know how to pace, had no clue about pace, like someone beginning with edibles, no clue how to pace, but if I would have started low and went slow, like we say to do with edibles, I would have had juice to run continuously at the end of the race. But just all the learning from experience is a good time.
What got you to sign up for the Mount Ashland hill climb as like your true origin point into running?
When it really sparked was trimming, because I'm sitting for 12 hours a day, working, trimming, commune style, and I'm used to being somewhat athletic, and moving, and this was in the hills of Mendocino County, where there's these beautiful rolling hills, no houses, just farms and gates and big dogs. and I found, I didn't want to wait. Time was trimming and to get work done, so I wanted to max my time, so I just started running all around the hills. All these dogs are barking at me, but after doing that for months, I was like, that was my favorite high of the day. Was running around, seeing wild turkeys, exploring where the hell I'm at, and feeling more grounded, more grounded because I've explored all over, I put my physical body all around these hills, and that's when it just clicked. And ever since then, we moved to Ashland because Kelsey wanted to go to the awesome massage school there, and I worked at a super healthy restaurant and got into clean eating, and I was the juicer. So I was crushing fresh, organic, everything.
Nice.
And just vibing, there's a lot of sugar in that, but I had all this energy, and it turns out Ashland is like the best trail town ever, and out the back door, it was vertical and trails, like Lithia Park.
Yeah.
And I see Hal and his guys running around, and like they're always smiling and look like they're having fun. It's funny because I really don't feel and know that I'm not like talented or you know, have an affinity for this sport, but I think it's like yoga. You know, it doesn't matter how flexible you are or you know, if you're really nailing these poses, as long as you're working on your body, you're doing the yoga. you're doing the practice, you know. That's why I fell in love with running, was seeing a grandma just run up the Mount Ashland hill climb, talking to me the whole time, and I'm, you know, it was mind blowing, seeing how fit runners really are, you know, and they don't look like The Rock, you know, but they're the most fit of humans. But I was just lucky to catch the clues to find this thing that I think brings a lot of joy, and I'm excited for the rise of ultra running, especially with maybe people who use cannabis and who are interested in you know, cannabis bringing homeostasis to them. Running, I feel, does that to me just as much, you know, keeping my mind and body functioning how I like it to.
What do you think of Avery Collins? Like, probably, you know, 90% of the ultra community, probably he's the guy, you know, that's the representative of like anybody who smokes weed and runs.
Yeah.
And I mean, he does it at a super high level, like way faster than I am.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think of that dude?
I've been following Avery and think he's on it, you know. He's it's cool that he is open about it and showing how it's a net positive for him and his life, and sounds like his training. You know, I keep going back to dosing, but I just feel like if you put in the work and the practice, you make a journal. Runners love journals. You freaking, you know, you took this many milligrams at this time, and then you felt like this for this long. You know, you can dial it in and use it as a tool in your toolbox, you know. But Avery, it works because when I'm like, ooh, I want a beer, you know, I'm gonna have a beer, and then I'm like, maybe you should have a little vape hit and see if you still want a beer, you know. I'll play that game. I'll play the reward game. I'll be like, you did 12 miles today, dude. You can smoke a whole blunt. You know, I'm doing a hard thing, and I'm treating myself.
Yeah. Which is really what everybody does.
Yeah.
I mean, because if it's not weed or if it's not alcohol, then it's food.
Yeah.
And people go bananas over their like post long run food. It's like they've earned their, you know, like solo pizza that night.
Yeah.
You know,
I 100% use marijuana to drink less alcohol, and am super grateful for marijuana for supplementing, you know, almost all the alcohol I was drinking, and running, you know, running does that too, because you know, I get so dehydrated. Can't be drinking all the beers.
I saw you registered for the, what is it, Timberjack 100K.
Yeah.
So you're bumping up a distance. So what is the Bryan Hamey 5-year plan in the world of ultra running? Where do you see your life going and your running, and what are you kind of dreaming about going forward?
Yeah. Just making it a sustainable venture for me. The learning curve with not being a injured piece of shit all the time. You know, I'd go in and out of there, but now that I feel like I got my flow, I know when to ramp it up, I know when to turn it down. I'm using this, I'm using that. I feel like I'm in a good spot to like try to get races in every year, have an A race, try different things, and use it as a exploration. Like ask guys like you, like, well, like what's a really fun like destination race, and you know, hopefully when all this is wrapped up, get into traveling and use it as a celebration of travel and exploration, you know. Cool. But making it a sustainable thing where I'm improving and feeling athletic and getting more fit, and where I can tune into the flow state, like, let's go, let's just ride. And using cross training, I ride my bike to work. I got an electric bike, and so I'm maximizing, you know, my time. I love recovery. I love the training. It's a fun like video game with your body. It's funny because I'm at the shop, you know, I'm like, man, I wish an ultra runner would come in. You're like, dude, check this lotion out. It's clinical strength. It's got 1,000 milligrams. Yeah. It's got menthol. You slap it on your knee and you feel immediate effects. Yeah. And there's all these things like, you know, you can do edibles that are energetic or make you sleep better, or the science coming out all the time. We're all learning as we go here, coming out of prohibition. CBN is another cannabinoid helping people sleep.
Coming out of prohibition, just like, that's funny. I was like, wait a minute, 19th, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
like, yeah, but that's true. I wonder if that'll be the term.
It's exciting as the science is coming out. It feels like we're in the ocean just trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Well, we need ambassadors here, to use a running term. Yeah. You're an ambassador for the lifestyle, and I don't know if I had requested me to make dispensaries less intimidating for people, because I've only been in one. It was in LA with a buddy. And I don't know, I just felt awkward, you know, like, yeah, I don't, you know, I don't know what other context it's similar to. It's kind of like going to get your oil changed and you don't know anything about cars. Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, bro, change that filter. Yeah. But like,
that's how I feel that there too. I'm like, yeah, do your thing, guys. Yeah. But that's where the role of the Budtender is to, based on what you tell them, hook you up with what's gonna work. Like, hey, I'm looking for this desired effect, or I have this ailment. We get that all the time, you know. I'm fighting cancer. What can we do? And I'm looking at Rick Simpson oil, you know, full spectrum cannabis oil, not processed distillate, but true to the plant. These Budtenders should know what to give you. Nice. For sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should go run.
Let's get
go
it.
Smell that deep pine.
Yeah. Yeah.
to the wife and kids.
I guess so.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us. That was fun.
Ray John.
Bryan Hamey, Run Stoned.
Yeah. At Run Stone. Bryan Hamey.
All of them on Strava, dropping all the
Yep.
incline routes.
These miles.
Yeah.
Let's use cannabinoids to feel good and running to feel good.